January 16th, 2018, I bought a couple of these Razor E-100 scooters for my grandkids at Christmas time, and they liked them, except my younger grandson has a problem with his because there is no throttle control. In other words, it's either full speed or nothing, and that's not very safe for young kids. So I decided to do something about it. Here's what I did. Since these Razor E-100s don't have any variable throttle control and goes fast or nothing, it's a little dangerous to young kids. And actually my younger grandson, got thrown off of one because he couldn't control the speed. Anyway, when they come from the factory, this is what the handle looks like. Now what I did was I converted it to a variable throttle control, and now this is what the handle looks like. So in order to make this conversion, I had to go to electricscooterparts.com online. They have a conversion kit for changing it from full speed to variable speed. And the problem is that there were no instructions that came with this variable speed throttle, and so it was a little difficult getting started. Now normally, not normally, but a lot of times you can go online and go to YouTube and find some kind of instruction showing how other people have done it. Well, unfortunately, there was none for this particular scooter. So since I had two of them to convert, I thought I would make my own and show you how it's done, at least how I got it done. This is what I did. As you can see, there is a slight difference in the length of the cables. The cable on the left is from the factory, and it goes from the bottom up to the top with this one slight swoop. The new cables for the kit are almost identical, with the exception of being about a foot longer, so I had to make an extra loop right on the right hand side there because the cables are just a little bit longer. But basically they're identical except for length. Okay, since the blue scooter has already been modified with the new cables, and I've tried it out and it works just fine as far as the throttle goes. It starts off slow and then it speeds up. So it works. Now I will do the same thing with the purple one, only this time I'm going to go step by step and try to explain the best I can on how to do it and not get confused like I did. Here we go. Okay, let's talk a little bit about what we're going to need as far as tools and what comes in the kit package. Let's take a look. One of the things you're going to get in the package is the brand new throttle, variable speed throttle. The other thing you're going to get is a brand new brake handle. And then you're going to get a couple of other electrical connections. One is for the charger, it's item number 4, and one is for the battery, item number 5. And also here's a connection for the off and on switch, item number 2. And the last thing you're going to get is the controller. And as you can tell, on the controller there are numbers on those wires as well, and they correspond with all of the numbers that we just looked at over here. So it's relatively an easy job as long as you know what you're doing. The whole point is to know what you're doing ahead of time, then you won't have any problems. So some of the tools you're going to need, and all the tools that I use are right here. First of all, get a screwdriver, or a little electric screwdriver works better. A pair of dikes for cutting things. A number 10 wrench, a number 9 wrench, a number 8 wrench, a number 5 Allen wrench, a number 3 Allen wrench, and a couple of black zip ties, and some black electrical tape. Now we can start. Let's do it. Okay, it doesn't make any difference where you start. You can start on top with the handle and take the brake off and the old throttle off if you want to first, or you can just open up the bottom of it where the batteries are and start there. I prefer to start there because it just seems like the logical thing to do. Now you notice that the first 4 screws I took out, the front and the middle, are all the same size. When I take out the back 2, these should be a little longer. There we go. So when you put it back together, make sure the 2 long screws go in the back and the 4 shorter ones go up front and in the middle. Alright, so let's take this off and see what we got. Okay, so what we have is a metal bar going from the front all the way to across the battery to the back. This is holding everything in place. The metal bar is got 2 screws in it, front and rear, so now we got to remove those. As you can see, these 2 screws are the shortest, so try not to get them mixed up. The shortest screws go on the bar, the other ones go on the foot plate. Okay, some of these screws are down pretty tight, and when you have some little screwdriver, electric screwdriver, it's not going to break it loose. You got to break it loose manually first. That was pretty tight. Now I can use the screwdriver for the rest of it. Alright, so now we got the bar off. Now this part looks pretty nice, doesn't it? Everything's kind of very neatly tucked in there, and not any problems. You've actually got a little bit of room up front, up here, where the wires are. There's a little more room there than they actually needed, which is good. However, when you get this new controller in there, as you can see, this controller, the silver controller, is a lot bigger than the old black controller right here. It's considerably bigger. So you're going to have less room in that respect. You're also going to have less room because there are more electrical connections on the new controller than there are on the old ones. At least they're bigger and there's more. So that's going to take up some room, and the controller is going to take up more room. So we're going to have to do some modification once we get in here and start taking everything apart.